Oh,
Welcome back to... Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Streets of Rage 2, folks. Now we're playing as Skate. He's a skater boy.
Not sure what I think of the scrolling in this stage. It's sort of weird. It's trippy.
Yeah, I mean, the Mega Drive was capable of parallax scrolling,
of course.
But, yeah, this is certainly an odd choice in, like...
It's weird having the foreground scrolling. You're used to having the background. I mean, it's not bad or anything. It's just weird.
Yeah, and I'm also used to, like, having the foreground kind of, like, stay kind of, like, where it is at. Like, it's there. It's certainly there. Like, gives it kind of a nice visual flair. That rhymes. Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I wouldn't say distracting because it's... I kind of liked it, but...
Destroy... Oh my god, you're destroying the game!
Oh no, they're not going to be able to make their money back. What are we going to do?
They're not going to be able to play this great game, and so they're going to turn violent because they'll have no video games to turn to.
You know, it'd be a funny thing if you broke all the arcade machines, the game just shuts off. Oh man, that would have been such a dick move, but I would have loved it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, like I said in the previous part, Skate is like freaking awesome. I don't care what you say. I don't even know if like I would be arguing with someone like saying Skate is like terrible or not, but no, he's great. He's fucking awesome.
I believe he's Adam's younger brother or like, or something like that. I know that Max is also like someone's cousin, I think.
Yeah, speaking of Adam and speaking of the plot in general, this game takes place like after they defeat Mr. X in the previous game, but, well, he was thought to have died, but he wasn't dead after all. So, yeah, he kidnapped Adam, who was playable in the previous game, am I correct in that?
Yeah, he was one of the characters from the first one.
Yeah, so now this is just like them trying to get Adam back. And contrary to the first game and the third game, there's only one ending, which I'm thankful for because, oh god, that would have been even more killer to record.
Oh yeah. You can only get the alternate ending in Streets of Rage 1 by playing as 2 players.
What were the alternate endings in Streets of Rage 1 again?
In one you join Mr. X and in one you don't.
Oh yeah.
But you can only get the join Mr. X ending if you're playing as 2 players. One player chooses yes and the other player chooses no. And I believe there's like... I can't remember what happens then, but essentially, I think then you can get the bad ending. He asks you to join you as well in the single player, but if you choose yes to join him, he sends you back like 2 levels.
What, to prove that you're worthy?
Yeah.
Oh man, I actually like that. That's like, I never would have like thought of any game being capable of that. Like having the 2-player co-op eventually like face off against each other. Well, actually, now that I think of it, like Castle Crashers, you know that game? Like, that game does like something similar, but that's like for like every single level. So I guess Streets of Rage did it first. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you're not really looking for plot though in Streets of Rage, I mean...
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Basically, Mr. X evil, you're killing him.
Yes, he evil, you go punch enemy.
This is probably more primitive than Sonic. In terms of story.
Yeah. Yeah, Sonic has a lot more lore than this thing.
Oh, this level has aliens.
Yeah, this is where things get kind of weird, and it doesn't happen for the rest of the game, man.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is.
When I first played this game, I thought that this game was going to have like Mr. X not be the ultimate bad guy, and there was going to be like aliens and shit. But no, luckily Mr. X is the final boss, spoiler alert. And this is just like a weird attraction at a theme park, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that would kind of make sense if this is like, since this does take place in an amusement park, this is like some sort of just attraction that's there.
Same with the pirates earlier.
Yeah, so like the thing that we're going to be facing like right about now is not actually real, it's just like mechanical. And all these like alien eggs are just like, I don't know, pyrotechnics and stuff. That would make sense, yeah.
Pretty much.
Still weird, but yeah.
Indeed. But yeah, I thought this game was going to turn into like Contra or something. Fucking xenomorphs and...
I read an interview, like a really good interview that's in the description of this video. You should really check it out. It was with the sister of the game's composer. Her name's Ayano Kishiro.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, she was the character designer and like basically the graphics designer for this whole game as well.
Nice.
And yeah, like speaking about Contra, there was like a lot of influence from Contra specifically for this level.
Yeah.
And just also kind of like apparently like some sort of like environmental storytelling and stuff, since like there is again like the kind of story that go kill Mr. not kill Mr. X, just like beat him up and stuff. Oh man, that would get too dark. But like there's certainly like I suppose like sort of like some kind of story in the background, like you can kind of see just like with all the varied locations these guys are going through. Just I guess it kind of gives a description of like what the city is like and like what characteristics it has, which I guess I kind of find interesting, but it's something that you never really do think about when you're playing the game. Like,
yeah,
like you never really think about like, oh, what are the implications of this alien thing in this amusement park? Well, there really aren't any. It's just kind of there for the hell of it.
That reminds me of a fundamental difference between this and the first game. In the first game, by pressing the A button, you could do a special attack, which was really annoying in certain ways. Basically, it was a screen nuke. And I'm glad they got rid of that. Instead, each character has their own special attack, which drains their health, which is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't it like some like a police car just kind of crashing into the whole scene and killing everything?
Pretty much. Well, it would like fire bombs and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of other special things, since Max is using them quite efficiently right now, let's talk about the game's weapons. In the previous game, there were like 6 of them, I think, maybe a little less than that. But now here, I only counted 3. There was the knife, the pipe, and the samurai sword. And
so, are you ready to do Ace Space All? It's like Boo. Do Ace Space All Ball.
Yeah, I think those signs in the backgrounds made no sense to the development team either.
This is one of my favorite levels in the game, though. I love the idea of going out into a fucking baseball field and then what happens then.
Yeah, yeah, the pipe is the most powerful weapon in the game.
Yeah,
well,
it
actually, yeah, it's even more powerful than the samurai sword, and that thing like cuts like a knife. And the knife itself isn't like that impressive. Although you can throw all 3 weapons, which is pretty useful for like getting enemies out of the way.
Yeah.
So that they don't punch you and stuff. I really do like this visual effect that the baseball field has. It's like a weird parallax scrolling, but not really. I'm not gonna say what you all think it is, but because that's just gonna annoy me. But
it's not Mode 7.
I wasn't gonna say it.
It's not even it's not even the same idea as Mode 7. There's no affine transformation here.
Hey, I didn't say it. That was all you.
It's simple parallax scrolling. It's one layer parallax scrolling. Okay, there's more layers in the back of the field, but anyway.
Yeah. Don't talk about good. I mean, do talk about Mia with graphics because she knows what she's talking about, but like don't say, "Oh, this is Mode 7." Mode 7. Totally Mode 7. Yeah, speaking of graphics, in the interview that is also linked in the description, which again you should really read, it's a really good interview. They apparently had like a lot of rules from the higher ups of things that they could and could not include in the game, and this first one, I hope you can explain it. Apparently there was like a 40 cell wide mode for I guess like the level of visual fidelity or something. I don't know, like. So, do you know what that means? 40 cell wide mode?
Is that something they couldn't or could include?
They had to have it, or at least those were like the limitations.
I believe it's something to do with. I don't know exactly, but I'm assuming it's something to do with the sprites and the colors, possibly.
Okay.
Because there is a lot of color in this game. But I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, so I could just be talking out my ass.
Yeah, well, I didn't really write a good description either, so that's probably my fault.
The Mega Drive did have a lot of exploits it could use to sort of make it able to accomplish more colors and things like that.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. And the other rules, well, these ones are a bit more obvious. They couldn't have any, like, real-life company names or logos or anything, like, similar to that, like, color scheme-wise and stuff. You don't want to get sued, of course. And this is, like, mostly for kind of the American audiences. At least that's what they were thinking. They couldn't have any ecchi kind of stuff, or as they say, perverted. And they couldn't have any depictions of drugs, alcohol, or smoking, which, I mean, I give or take, whatever. And I'm not going to complain that these guys aren't, like, doing crack cocaine.
I mean, they probably are. They're probably just good at hiding it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if everyone here was, like, high off their balls, because, I mean... Just look at those hairstyles and look at those like costumes. And stuff.
Imagine the bikers are on meth at least, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they were. Like the most interesting thing though was like they had to keep in theme with the original Streets of Rage, but also build upon it. Which I mean, that's kind of what you do with a sequel. But it's nice to see that they had that kind of thing in mind when developing this game, at least visual-wise and stuff.
Yeah, because I do feel that this is a good development of the Streets of Rage art style, because the first game did have a really cool art style. It was just a bit... I don't know what to say about it, but...
Archaic, primitive?
Yeah, it was a bit more primitive than this, whereas this, everything, you can tell what everything is just by looking at it.
Oh, Abadidi. I hate you. Abadidi. I've never known an enemy name that's... named after something you do to interrupt someone and balk them. It's stupid. Also, this guy is like play as Max if you can. Well, actually, no, you can't. You can only play as a single character in a single run through. So, yeah, but Max is definitely best for facing off against this guy because like he will kick your goddamn ass, and it's not even funny. Yeah, man. But anyway, we'll see you guys in the next part where, again, we will see more ass kicking and more name taking.